will happen. You guys seeing what is happening. So we need a builder, somebody who builds, and I don't know, hopefully we'll get next time. Let's see.
Yeah.
No names I'm taking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better to leave certain things to guesswork. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
Even people can't figure out the president right now, forget about Prime Minister.
Okay. And now there are a lot of financial advisors sitting in this room, and we had a day-long program for them. In one of the sessions, we discussed about using of social media and how effectively it can be done. And you've been a success even in that space also. Many of us have tried a lot in leveraging social media. So what are the keys to success there?
Yeah, of course, mine is a little different because I'm in movies and books and stories. So the kind of appeal and the kind of reach I'll have will be very different from what you guys have. But social media, of course, works if it's genuine, if it's a genuine benefit to the person who signs up. That benefit could be as simple as basic financial tips. If your Twitter account gives that people will just do. It could be as simple as running a few contests. It could be as simple as some updates, and you have to invest in it. It's not just, hey, I opened a Twitter account, so you have to give something. You have to use it to give it something to your followers or whoever your subscribers are, and then when there's a genuine benefit, then it works. The second is engagement. When there's an engagement, it really works. And it can come through contests, it can come through mock portfolios, it can come through things like that to build awareness. And you'd be surprised how much more powerful it is. For example, I just ran a contest. A movie on 3 mistakes of my life is called Kai Poche. Now, Gujarati people know the meaning. It means when the kite is cut. But non-Gujaratis don't know it. In fact, it could have become a weakness for the movie. So, I said, what does Kai Poche mean? Tell us on Twitter, and winners will get some prize or whatever, and ask your Gujarati friends. Now within an hour it started trending in the country because everybody was giving responses. They were checking up Google, they were checking their friends, this, that, and suddenly Kai Poche became a popular name. And this is how social media was used. You could have never done it using Bombay Times.
Sure.
But this worked over here. So there needs to be people. One person on my team is basically just looking at social media all the time. So it's as important as a newspaper, or much more important in some ways.
Great. Thanks, Chetan, for all your insights. It's been wonderful talking to you. Now, can we request people sitting here, we can take 2 questions from you for Chetan. Anybody would like to ask some questions pertaining to what Chetan discussed or any of his books? Or yeah.
Yes. I will just give you the mic. Okay.
No, I think the people in the back mean. Can we have a mic, please?
For him first. Can he ask first?
Yeah.
Hi Chetan, I read all your books and they make great reading. And just a question on your presentation and your life. I mean, suppose you had started 20 years back, so in 1992 or 90s, how would have been different from when you started in 2002 or so? I mean, things have changed so much from where it was in 90s to this stage.
Right place, right time is a correct thing. I think I came at the right place, right time. My first book came out in 2004, and it was around that time that English had become very popular. In 90s, people of course did speak English, but not as much as today. You'd be surprised today, but today even a driver SMSs or knows basic, or they use Roman typing. You'd be surprised how much English has come. So 2004, I felt English, the rise of English helped me a lot. Presence of the internet helped me a lot because I was in Hong Kong. How could I have done it? And of course, the growth in bookshops, because 2004 is when we started having malls, and in shopping malls there were more and more bookshops.
Sure.
So that helped me. Then in 2008, Flipkart was launched, and all these online sites have come up now. Now today, 25% to 30% of my books are sold through online sites, majority of which is Flipkart. Revolution, 2 lakh books of Revolution were sold through Flipkart, one site. So unthinkable, these things in the era you are mentioning. So, and now I am on Facebook, I can say buy this book from here, write online, it's just become so much. And I think in 5-7 years we'll have ebooks which will dominate, or at least be a significant part of the market. Luckily for me, because I'm from a certain tech background, I have absorbed these technologies very fast. Many writers don't. Writers tend to be in their library writing. But for me, I look for trends. I look for what's the next thing coming. So I've ridden the wave a little bit too. And that has helped me a lot.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Just another question. The third book, Revolution. I mean, first 2 books I could relate you to your own life, whether it is IIT, IIM, and the second one, or your life, 2 states. Third one, where do you get the idea? Guy from Varanasi, Rajkot. I mean, it is quite in depth about Varanasi. I was quite intrigued. Where do you get so much of?
Through my motivation talks, actually. When I do motivation talks for students, I've traveled to more than 75 cities of India in the last 18 months. And I spent a lot of time in the interiors trying to understand the youth. And the situation in private colleges and the new colleges that are coming up is quite amazing, what bizarre things are happening there in the name of education. All these colleges are opening up without really quality control. In NCR alone, there are 175 MBA colleges. What are so many people teaching? What are these MBAs? Nobody, and this is just one region, so you can imagine what's happening. Lot of problems in the way regulations are. You cannot make a profit opening a private college. It has to be non-profit trust. Now, who will put hundreds of crores? Few charitable people might, but the number of colleges you need are hundreds. So we don't have that many benefactors. So people do earn money, but they use illegal methods to earn money. They open a trust, but they take cash out. They open construction and this. So only people who are happy with the illegal business open colleges. Liquor shop owners and politicians, mithai shop owners have opened. Those who have a lot of cash business. Now, typically an IIT professor should be opening a college, those things, but they are not opening because the business is. Now, what will happen if you teach kids under these colleges? What is going to happen to the nation? So I really felt very strongly. So from that, this book was born. Varanasi was a very interesting city. It was a small town. It was known as the city of knowledge. And, I wanted to set the irony of Varanasi in that book. So that's how it came. And I really felt a connection to that place when I went there. It's quite an amazing town actually. Very beautiful and very dirty. So that's what is captured in the India of today, I think.
Yes, Shyam Sundar, can I have, yeah.
We can have 2-3 more simple questions, yes.
They say that almost everybody has 2 secret desires. One is to start a restaurant and the second is to write a book.
Yes.
So at what point did you get the confidence that you had a terrific story to tell and your story would be heard and received well?
Yeah, you're right though. They did a thing on what people want most. So first was more money, second was lose weight, third was I think write a book, and fourth was to open a restaurant. Something like that. It's how the wish list of the world. For me, I didn't know that I'll become a full-time writer ever. I didn't know that I'll be a bestseller. I didn't know I would have a career out of it. I just tried. I was like one of those people who wanted to write a book. I always had this ability to entertain people. In college also I used to write a lot of plays, a lot of funny plays. So there was this something was there that I can hold an audience in a performance theatre especially. So I didn't know whether it will work in a book. But when I was working, I could only do a book. I couldn't do a film or a theatre. So it's just lucky that I at least tried, If I had not tried, I would not have discovered it. Yeah.
Hi, Chetan. One of those advent traders who finishes the book in one night.
Thank you.
So, couple of things. One is Revolution 2020 for me felt like more like a script. of a film rather than a novel. So maybe next time I hope there should be a novel. You know?
But it is a novel. It
is a novel?
It is a novel because I'll be just frank with you. Revolution is 90,000 words. A film script is 20,000 words. If a book is feeling like a film to you, it's written in a certain very fast-paced format, and maybe the scene. I write very scene-wise. It's my style of writing that I jump narrative, like it happens in a movie. There is a scene, and then you jump to the next scene. It doesn't necessarily, say from here I went here, then I went there. You just cut to. It's like how it happens in a movie. You cut. So there is a style of writing, but I wish I could do a script and pass it off as a book, because a script has very little information. A book has to have complete information to play the movie in your head. But yes, I know what you're saying. It's a little Bollywood, it's a little cinematic. But that's what I've grown up in. That's what India is, in a way. If you want to do a mass book that will reach millions of people, you have to do it in a very easy to understand style. But if you're looking for a very dense novel, I don't know if I'll be able to do it right now. Maybe later in life I'll do. Right now I'm very happy just building my reader base, and for that I need to be simple and cinematic, I feel.
Okay, just staying on the book, the follow-up question on that is, you have so many followers, probably you said 40 million guys are there. I'm sure those are not the ones who invest in mutual funds, so why not a next book on MF industry, something on love interest, something between the advisor and client, some love interest, and you make up on the backdrop.
Well, I have done, not a book, but with one or two of the MF guys, I have done some programs for customers, and the youth especially, and young customers, and banking customers who want something very light, but really not pushy. I can't go and say, please buy this mutual fund or this, but just to create that awareness, to create that need in them. Yeah, I better be doing something about my financial planning. And then of course automatically they'll move to this. So I have worked with some companies. I've done some things with ICICI. I've done many things with them. Birla Sun Life, I did some things with earlier. So I have done something. It is an area of interest for me, but obviously I will not. For me, the main interest is the benefit and how it can influence, how it's something important to help the youth. How will India become rich when people start doing these things only? So.
Okay, Chetan. Yeah. For paucity of time, we'll have to wind up the Q&A. We have some special dignitaries here amidst us, and we'd like to actually thank them and call them on stage for a small memento, an autographed book by Mr. Chetan Bhagat. I'll just call out the names. Mr. Bala Subramaniam, CEO of Birla Mutual Fund, sir. Mr. Sandeep Sikka, CEO of Reliance Mutual Fund. Mr. Harshendu Bindal, CEO of Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund. Mr. Kailash Kulkarni, CEO of L&T Mutual Fund. Mr. Debashish Malik, CEO of IDBI Mutual Fund. Mr. Vikas Sachdeva, CEO of Edelweiss Mutual Fund. Mr. Waqar Naqvi, CEO of Taurus Mutual Fund. Mr. Anthony Heredia, CEO of Morgan Stanley Mutual Fund. Mr. Kumar Karpe, CEO of Tech Process. I'd like to add the names of two gentlemen who have been angels for us in more sense than one. Mr. John Matthews of HDFC Mutual Fund and Mr. Ashok Suvarna of Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Request you to please come on stage, sir. And one final sincere thanks from Next Advisors to Mr. Chetan Bhagat, a citation to be handed over by Mr. Amit Trivedi. Yeah, that's how it has been going. You've been handing over the books and all this. Or till Amit writes his first. Please join me in applauding. That was a fantastic session, Chetan. Thank you very much. With this, we'd like to bring an end to the event. We would like you to join us for cocktails and dinner. And I'm sorry, please just a minute, Mr. Atul Khanna, our Chief Technology Officer of Next Advisors, for the valedictory address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Next Advisors, I take this opportunity to thank you all for making this event a great success. Tonight, the 22nd of June 2012, is indeed a proud moment for all of us, a group of dreamers. About a year back, as many of you are familiar, we took a big step, a leap into what was perceived as a dark future ahead. Tonight, in the midst of fellow members of our ecosystem, we wish to declare that we have overcome major difficulties and achieved the first milestone. We now have more than 50 IFAs on board, actually 60 as of today, and from 14 different locations. The future looks quite bright. On the transaction processing front, we are going to provide debit card and also shortly working on SMS-based transactions. We are working to add many more products like bonds, company fixed deposits, etc. We are continuously and tirelessly working to smoothen some of the processes for which we'll need your help. However, this is just the beginning. We have to get many more IFAs on board. We have to enhance our product offerings and help our fellow IFAs getting more customers and maybe achieve some of the dreams which Mr. Chetan Bhagat has pointed out. We want to do all this keeping our customers, which is the IFAs, needs as a primary objective. And for that, we request all your support and encouragement in this journey. We want to thank the people who have made this event possible. First of all, I would like to thank Aditya Birla Financial Group for being the title sponsor for this event. We also want to thank HSBC Mutual Fund, who is the platinum sponsor. Thanks to BNP Paribas, L&T, DSP and Tata for being the gold sponsor. Daiwa Mutual Fund has been helping us right from the start in this journey. A heartfelt thanks to all panelists who have shared the insight. Special thanks to moderators who are the co-IFA members who have actually made and guided this discussions forward. A heartfelt thanks to my team who has been supporting me in this journey. They are there. We are grateful to the who's who of this mutual fund industry to be present and grace this occasion. We are thankful to the fellow IFAs who had faith in us and joined us in our platform. Special thanks to Mr. Anirudh for being the master of ceremonies. Please join me in thanking Mr. Chetan Bhagat for giving a wonderful speech. Hope to meet you all in the coming season. I now wish to invite you all for a cocktail and dinner. Thank you very much.
questions from the back. It's fine, right?
Absolutely no issues.